1 year ago, Roman Reigns made his shocking return at SummerSlam 2020. And now, exactly 1 year later, we've arrived at the main event of SummerSlam 2021 with the tribal chief at his absolute peak of his powers. Now, Roman faces his biggest test of his title reign, John Cena chasing number 17. The Usos defend their gold, and we close year one of the Bloodline rewind with a beastly return that shocked the world. It's time to rewind the Bloodline. Welcome back to the Bloodline Rewind. I'm Johnny Bake Show, and this is part 39. If you are new here, go back and check out last week's episode where we reviewed the final SmackDown before SummerSlam, and we got you all caught up on everything happening in the world of professional wrestling back in 2021. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to support the channel, and it keeps you in the know for when we drop daily Bloodline content. And we have a packed show today, but I have a surprise for you listeners as Teddy Mongoose is back.
So for the last 2.5 months, have just been outside of the ring. I've been stomping my feet. I've been doing the overhead clap, waiting for the hot tag. And let me just tell you this, that through the adversity, whatever we face, I'm here. Let me come in and let's get into this, brother, because I am ready to go.
So, Teddy, this is an important show because this marks the first full year of the Bloodline Rewind in the timeline. So part one of our entire series ended with Roman returning at SummerSlam 2020. And we are now here 1 year later with Roman defending the Universal Championship. So we got to get this show kicked off. I cannot wait. So kick us off, Teddy.
All right, so we are at SummerSlam 2021, coming to you live from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on August 21st of that year. Watching this opening package, having been removed for a little while, a lot has happened. We'll get to Roman and John Cena. That's a big deal. There's some Goldberg. And most importantly, there is Nikki ASH. The SHIT, the superhero in training, is here for us. I'll have more to say about that later. We don't have any pyro, but we're moving forward into this show. Let's get right to the Usos defending their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Mysterios.
So we get a recap of Jay beating Ray from SmackDown on the previous night as Ray and Dom are in Gorilla. Dom apologizes for what happened on SmackDown the night before, and Ray tells him that
what happened last night is in the past.
And he needs to be focused right now. Ray wants Dom to remember what he always tells Dom.
We fight the fight that's in front of us every day. We never quit.
So he asks Dom if he's ready, and the Booyaka Booyaka music hits, and they make their way to the ring. The Usos are on their way out too as well, and these tag titles are officially on the line.
I do have to say that it is refreshing hearing the Usos music and seeing the Usos. Yeah, for so long, I just had just Jay coming out to that. Felt weird not hearing that it's just me, seeing just Jay. Now seeing them both together, man, it's awesome. Jimmy looks in great shape. We get started quickly. Both men are hammering with rights. So Ray sends Jimmy into the middle rope as Mysterio goes for the 619. Jimmy rolls out of the ring, but Ray hits him with the basement drop kick. Jey Uso then runs in. Dom hits him with the right, sends him over the top to the outside. Ray tags Dom in, hits a baseball slide to the Usos on the outside. Cute little spot. I like that one a lot as Dom flies in and hits a springboard crossbody onto the Usos. And I must say, it was a weak crossbody.
Yeah.
It was very deliberate. Do you know what I mean? But we're still in early stages, Dom. So Dom rolls Jimmy back in, gets the top rope crossbody for 2. He sets up in the corner, hits the 3 amigos, but on the third one, Jay blind tags in. Dom goes to the top rope as Jay runs around the outside, pushes Dom off into the barricade. And the thing that I didn't like about this spot was it took a long time for Jay to get around there. Like there was the blind tag, it was set up. Yeah. And then I felt like we were just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then he finally got pushed off. Like it paid off, but it was weird how long it took.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on that spot when we get to the end here. But Jay posts Dom on the outside and he throws him back into the ring and he sinks in a headlock. Dom is reaching to tag in his dad, but Jay pushes him back to the other side of the ring and he tags Jimmy in and they hit a double team backbreaker. Jimmy is taunting Dom as he is still reaching for his dad to tag in, but Jimmy starts laying in some huge stomps and a running headbutt for two.
And Dom's getting choked in the bottom rope as Ray runs in to help. Ref cuts him off, keeps him in the corner. Jay tags in, goes to land a big right in the corner, but Dom counters with punches to the Usos, and he's firing up here. Dom runs out of the corner to tag, but Jay lays him out with a huge uppercut. And my God, did McAfee make the biggest deal out of this?
You can hear that in Reno!
Or whatever he said. Like,
yeah,
it was so over. Like, I like me some over the top McAfee. Here, it was just like, brother. And then he's a little bit of inside.
The windup was heavy. Hadouken!
He's at the point now where he's like way over the top, and it's like it's not really translating that well. But as we get further in, he starts getting a little bit better here and there. He doesn't like throw it in as much, but you're right. He is way over the top here now.
For me, it never gets better. It always just exhausts me. But I can see exactly what you're saying, that it's more palatable. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, he was super duper whoop whoop.
So Jay picks Dom up for several suplexes, and Jay throws the one up as he acknowledges his tribal chief. Dom is again crawling to tag, but he is cut off again as Jay tries for his own three amigos, but Dom counters with a suplex. Both men have to get past each other to tag out as we finally get the hot tag, and Ray runs wild on Jimmy, hitting him with a clothesline and the springboard moonsaults onto Jimmy's shoulder. Jimmy then throws him up for a neck breaker, but Ray counters into a spinning DDT. Jimmy kicks out at two, but the Mysterios finally have life here as Ray is on the top rope. He delivers a senton, he hits the ropes, ducks under a punch from Jimmy, and he hits Jay off of the apron.
Yeah, Jimmy tries to roll up Ray, but he rolls out and kicks Jimmy in the head. Jimmy immediately fires up and kicks Ray's head off with a super kick, and Ray kicks out at 2.99. So Jay tags in. The Usos go for a pop-up powerbomb, but Ray Hurricane Rana's Jimmy to the outside. When Ray turns around, Jay lands a huge super kick to the gut, a springboard crossbody, but Jay nails him with a nasty super kick. He runs to the top rope and nails an Uso splash for a huge near fall here.
Jimmy tags in and he goes to the top rope for a double Uso splash, but Dom runs into Jay on the apron. Dom tries to suplex Jay, but Jay cuts him off and facebusters Dom on the apron. And Jimmy flies, but there is no one home as Ray rolls out of the way. Ray sends Jimmy into the middle rope and he connects with the 619. He nails Jay with a kick on the apron and he climbs to the top rope. He goes for the frog splash, but Jimmy gets his knees up and it crushes Ray's stomach. Jimmy stands up, super kicks a kneeling Ray. Jay tags in and they line up in the corners to give Ray the double super kick. Jay goes to the top and he hits an Uso splash onto Ray and the Usos retain. And I thought that this match was okay, but it was not better than this Money in the Bank match that they had. What did Dave give this match?
So Dave Meltzer gave this match 3.25 stars. If I was going to rate this, I would say somewhere between the 2.75 and 3.25. I think 3 would be fair since it's right in the middle of all that. Here's the deal, man. A really well-worked match. Everybody worked hard in this match. My biggest problem is I felt like the crowd didn't care about this match. And it's a shame because the Bloodline is a huge deal. It will be a huge deal. The crowd cares about the Bloodline, but I feel like they didn't care about the Bloodline versus the Mysterios here. It just, when they were doing their big near falls, like when there was that first Uso splash 2.99 kick out, it wasn't the, oh my God, that it should have been. Like, I feel like everybody was just waiting for the Usos to retain here.
Yeah, I gave the Money in the Bank match a 3.75 stars, and I think I'm just giving this one a solid 3. I like that Dom going for the high risk move on the top rope was basically Dom losing his focus, and that's what Ray didn't want him to do. But it just, I don't know, like you were saying about how like Dom was laying that crossbody in soft. It feels at times like Dom is working in mud. He just moves really slow, like I know that they are telling him, if you think you need to slow down, you need to go even slower than that. I get that, but it just feels like sometimes he's moving in mud.
Well, even whenever he was getting like the guys were working against him, like Jimmy and Jay stomping him and kicking him, it felt like they were stomping and kicking my kid. Like it seemed over the top in how much we didn't want to kick him in the face or we didn't want to lay it in. And that's not you know what I mean? It's not a knock against anybody. I'm here for safety, but at the same time, for the sake of the show, like you want to see that stuff look good. And I feel like it didn't. And I don't know why it didn't, but I don't know. It didn't click all the way with me.
We're moving onward to a new tag team for the Usos. We will see that next week on the channel. So come back for more if you want more Usos. But we have one last match left. But I know that you want to cover some stuff here.
I do. I raised that finger because here we go, man. So before we get into this show, we talked about Bizarro World before. There's just a couple of things that I need to touch on. So can we start with Alexa Bliss faced Eva Marie with Dewdrop?
Dude,
Eva Marie is doing spots onto Alexa's puppet.
Is this when they were trying to give Eva that last push, like right before she got released?
Oh, without question. It was one of those deals where, you know, she looks great. She's got it. They gave her Piper Niven, turned her into Dewdrop.
Yeah.
Killed Piper Niven for years and years and years. Yeah. And the match was it was so bad I didn't turn it off. I clicked right through Damian Priest winning the US title. I couldn't not watch Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie, and Eva Marie's doing spots on a voodoo doll. Another thing I need to bring up here. The big meme this year was Becky comes back and she wins the tag championship, and there's Becky Hogan. What is more Becky Hogan than falsely advertising Sasha Banks? Carmella comes out. Becky comes out and says, no, Carmella, I'll take this spot. Yeah. And then literally just hitting a manhandle slam and winning the championship in 19 seconds.
Yes, that is so Becky Hogan. That was
where was Becky Hogan in 2021?
Yes, that's so great. Oh, it was so great, and that kicked off the show.
It's nuts, man. Like I feel like we're so late here, and so another thing that I need to point out, very, very important. Other than there was a gender sighting. I did love me a gender sighting, which he obviously got murdered so fast by Drew McIntyre. But they bring out Tamira Mensah-Stock and Gable Steveson. And Pat McAfee is putting over Gable Steveson like, here's Brock Lesnar again. Oh, like, you guys better be ready. I can't even wait. And the crazy thing is, 4 years later, Gable Stevenson's been released for a year and a half. And Tamira Mensah-Stock just won LFG or whatever she did. And she doesn't even use her real name. They brought her out of here. She's a gold medal winner. And here's Ira May Steele. Same letters, change the name around for the copyright. I guess good on you, WWE. But before we get in this main event, dude, did I love the drip spot where they just sprayed them with the what was it? The Dripstick 2000. They brought Xavier Woods has this Dripstick 2000, and he sprays the Miz and Johnny Nitro, whatever he is here, and
drip.
They slowed it down. That water was less pressure than you get mist on a garden hose. And those guys are pratfalling. They're bumping for the water. I loved it. I absolutely loved that, man. Those were my favorite things this whole show.
So Johnny Drip, you were not here when we did the show where the zombies were coming in and out. That was
but I wasn't here, but I remember it. I remember it well. Miz blows out his ACL and then gets eaten by zombies.
Yes, gone forever.
Yeah.
Ah, gosh. Oh, yes. But there is still some wild stuff that is happening here in 2021. But we have our main event, and that is John Cena versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. And we get an awesome promo that lays out the entire outline of how we got here from last year's SummerSlam to this year's. And this package was excellent, and it actually might have been better than a WrestleMania one.
What I liked about this was they showed the full circle on Roman's comeback being SummerSlam 2020, and then him winning the championship on August 30th.
Yeah.
So he came back at this show 1 year later. He's defending his championship. I thought that it was really well done. The promo clips that they showed were excellent, and I really, really liked the way, and this was good on John for saying, essentially, I don't need to be better than you. I need to be better than you for 3 seconds. It's a real babyface thing to say. I like that a lot.
Cena, he is on his way out to a thunderous pop from this crowd, and this crowd is ready to see John Cena win his 17th title. Our tribal chief makes his way out with the Bloodline. The pyro hits, they make their way out, but Roman stops and tells the wise man that the Usos have to stay back as Roman is going to handle business on his own.
So the bell rings and this crowd's going bananas. Cena's getting the crowd hyped, and we get started with the side headlock by Cena. Roman sends Cena into the ropes for a shoulder tackle, and Cena's able to get up quickly. We get a collar and elbow tie up that Cena transitions into a roll up for a quick 2 to go back to the story with that pre-match promo to say, I can roll you up fast, brother. And Cena reminds Roman that all he has to do is get that 3 count. I like the storytelling so far.
Yes, and they tease a test of strength that Cena quickly moves, and he rolls up Roman again for another quick 2 count. Roman stands up. He mocks Cena for being happy with a 2 count. Roman then kicks Cena in the gut, and then with a big right hand as he mocks the crowd as they are clearly behind Cena here. Cena pulls himself up as Roman goes for another big right hand, but Cena ducks up and he rolls Roman up for a 3rd time in the early going of this match.
What I really liked about this was that it's almost like no crowds gave Roman a 12-month audition for how to act when there was crowds. Him hamming it up, healing it up was excellent.
Yeah.
It didn't seem performance. It didn't seem fake. It was literally him feeling himself, talking to the crowd and talking to Cena. And I really, really like that.
That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that, how that basically was just a free open floor for him to just learn how to do it.
Yeah, without question. So Cena stands up, is immediately clotheslined by Roman. Roman continues to taunt the crowd as he slams Cena into the corner. Roman then hits a suplex for a quick 2 count, and he sinks in a chin lock, just like every good heel does. Gets him some heat. Cena's able to get to his feet quickly. He gets dropped by Roman again. Roman picks up Cena for another snap suplex and a pinning attempt. Roman sends Cena to the outside. Cena fires up with some rights and goes to send Roman into the steps, but Roman counters as Cena crashes into them.
And the ref is now threatening to count out Roman, and I'm just wondering, why doesn't he just start counting instead of just yelling at him?
It's a championship match, man. You got to give him a little bit of leeway.
So Roman pays him no mind as he slams Cena's face off the steps. Roman then looks to the wise man, and Heyman hands the title belt to Roman. Roman gets up on the ring steps, and he holds that belt high above his head as the crowd is just raining boos on him. Roman hands the belt back to Heyman as Cena is now rolled back into the ring. Roman comes back in. Cena fires up, and he rolls Roman up for another quick pin, and Roman kicks out. They both stand up as Roman takes out Cena with another clothesline. Cena is using Roman to stand up as he puts Roman onto his shoulders for an AA, but Roman slips out and he hits a DDT for 2.
Yeah, and really quick, it's really frustrating how we're laying things out and how we're booking here in 2021. So you just said we got step spots. He's slamming his head into the steps and everything. Let us not forget that at Hell in the Cell, Charlotte Flair was just disqualified for a piece of the table coming off or whatever against Rhea Ripley, setting all of that up. So the inconsistency things here will blow your mind. But Roman picks Cena up now. Cena fires up with some rights. He ducks under the Roman punch, hits the ropes. Roman hits him with an uppercut. And every time that you think Cena's going to turn the momentum, it instantly shuts off. Roman stays in control, and that's been the MO of this whole title reign.
It really has been. Any time that somebody gets a little bit of momentum, Roman just shuts it off immediately.
And that's how you build a top guy. The thing is, everybody, and back then, we were all waiting for him to lose the championship, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, it was the best thing that they did because step by step, brick by brick, little thing by little thing, not only stacking these wins, but in the way he got these wins, we got the guy that we see now.
Yep.
And you see it all being built right here. So Cena tries to roll up Roman again. Roman gets Cena in his sleeper hold, and now Cena is fading fast. He tries firing up, gets back to his feet. Roman now puts his full body weight on Cena's back as he wraps his legs around him. Cena fades to his knees again. He tries one more time to stand. Roman wraps his leg around Cena again. Cena backs into a corner now. He smashes Roman in, breaking the hold. Cena then fires up the clothesline, and both men are now down.
So they both get to their feet, and John starts his 5 moves of doom. He leans over to give you the "you can't see me," and Roman grabs Cena into the guillotine choke. Cena flips over into a jackknife cover, but Roman kicks out, and Roman hammers Cena with a Superman punch. And that might have been the quickest someone has ever gotten out of that choke. And I think that it's really important to note that it was Roman's left arm that got the choke. So if you remember back to whenever Daniel Bryan, he was exiled from SmackDown, and whenever Edge was able to get out of that chokehold, it was never with Roman's right arm. It was always with his left. So just something to keep note when you're continuously seeing Roman sink in these guillotine chokes.
Oh, it's a nice little nugget there. So Roman runs for a spear as Cena kicks Roman in the face. Cena now hits the 5-knuckle shuffle. Cena's setting up for the AA. Cena hits the AA. Roman barely kicks out. Another huge near fall. And this is where I thought this match really started to pick up. Once we started getting these near falls, it went from okay to pretty great. Right. So Cena now locks in the STFU as Roman crawls to the ropes. Roman's able to get there as Cena lets go. Roman rolls to the outside. Cena hops off the apron, and Roman fires up for a drive-by.
Cena is now reeling on the outside as Roman rolls out onto the other side. Roman is lining up for a spear, but Cena catches Roman on his shoulders, and he gives Roman an AA through the announce table. Cena then grabs Roman and he rolls him back into the ring for the count, but Roman kicks out at 2.99 again, and Cena is in total disbelief. He's climbing the top rope. Cena leaps off, but Roman counters with a power slam and a cover, but Cena kicks out again for another huge near fall.
And what I really liked about that was you don't always see Cena hit that move to the outside and then immediately feel the sense of urgency, like, let's get him in.
Yeah.
It really sold like, oh, that's what's going to be it, right?
Right.
I thought that the timing of it and the execution of it was excellent. I really thought this was good stuff.
I really liked it too, because we saw something similar to that with Edge at Money in the Bank. Whenever Roman missed on that spear into the barricade, Edge immediately picked him up and tried to put him into the ring right away. So we kind of see it back-to-back pay-per-views here where like Cena's even learning from what previous people have done.
And that's all you want, is you don't want your baby faces to be idiots. They can all lose. Just don't make them look stupid.
Right.
And he didn't look stupid here. Yeah, I thought this was great. So Roman's setting up for the Superman punch. He runs at Cena, but John Cena rolls Roman up quick for the pin. Roman kicks out. Cena picks Roman up for the AA, but Roman hops off. He nails Cena with the Superman punch. Cena again kicks out as Roman says it's over and sets up for the spear. Roman launches and Cena moves out of the way as Roman posts himself. Cena grabs Roman on the top rope as he's setting up for a second rope AA. And he lands the Super AA.
And Roman kicks out again at 2.99, and this crowd is going insane. This is awesome. Chants are happening as Cena gets to his feet, and he's now setting up for his own spear. Cena runs, but Roman kicks him in the face as they are both trading blows in the center of the ring. Roman nails an uppercut and then another Superman punch as it sends Cena into the ropes, rebounding into the center as Roman launches again and hits another Superman punch.
So Roman is now setting up for the spear again. Roman connects, and 1, 2, 3. Roman retains the Universal Championship.
Just like
Roman stands over Cena with the belt held high over his head as Brock Lesnar's music hits. Lesnar makes his way down to the ring. He hops in as they come face to face. Heyman screaming no as Roman backs away and hops out of the ring as Heyman can't believe what he's seen. And the thing that I really liked about this is earlier in this match, Michael Cole said,
very few people have ever dominated John Cena in this way. I can remember one.
Except one other time.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that.
And we know the one other time.
Yeah.
It was Suplex City Brock at SummerSlam.
Oh my.
So
we missed that.
Yeah, one gentle little nugget set by Michael Cole. Gave this match 4.25 stars. Personally, I'm giving it 4. The only reason is I felt like, I don't want to say it was slow to start. Mm-hmm. It picked up so well once they got into the near falls, but there wasn't enough before the near falls to make me think that like this was an all-timer. Classic match for who we have and what the stage was, but it was a very good match, not a great match. What say you, John?
So I'm going to go with Dave, and I'm going to stick with the 4.25 star because I feel like they did a really good job of the Cena, I've only got to be better than you for 1, 2, 3. And they continuously did it in the beginning to remind you. There was a lull in the middle there, and when they picked it up, man, they really, really picked it up, and I really enjoyed it. So, but before we close out here, Teddy, we would be doing our listeners a disservice if we didn't take them to Dirt Sheet Beach. So let's get our toes in the water, put our ass in the sand, and let's get some pretty big news here, because since you've been away, there have been numerous cuts. There's been Braun Strowman, Tyler Breeze and Fandango, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, and as we covered last week on the show, Bray Wyatt was also cut. So what are your thoughts on all these people getting cut here in 2021?
Well, at this point in time, I absolutely was thinking, what are you doing cutting Aleister Black? That was the one that I thought could go to AEW and change the world. And he went there and kicked Cody's head off and had his thing with him. But the problem is that Cody was so just in the mud that it ended up not being a thing. The Fandango and Breeze, that was one of those things where like we were expecting like, okay, how long until you go to Impact? Actually, same with Braun Strowman too. I think the biggest surprise was actually Bray Wyatt. And it's just because how much time was put into the character.
Yeah.
I love me some Bray, man, character work wise. I think that his stuff's great. Baby Mongoose loves Bray Wyatt to this day. But I mean, it was an impossible character to actually have real wrestling feuds with. Mm-hmm. And so in that sense, I can't say I'm too surprised. But yeah, man, it was one of those things where Black was the big one, and I thought he'd have been a bigger deal, and he wasn't. And then he came back. And he is where he was.
Yes, for real. Literally came back. He's in the same spot.
Okay, so to get back to it, some other big news here, the world of professional wrestling. The night before SummerSlam, CM Punk returned at AEW's first dance on Rampage the night before. And it's notable because not only is CM Punk, but he wasn't officially announced. They did do all of the little, Cookie Monster and all those other things there. But on a rumor, the dude sold out the arena at 10 p.m. on Friday night on TNT. That segment topped 1.34 million viewers, ice cream bars for everyone. And the anniversary of that was actually just this past week.
Yes, it is so crazy how weirdly lined up in the timeline we are from back then too.
Absolutely, dude. So SummerSlam received 37% thumbs up, 37.5% thumbs down, and 25.5% thumbs in the middle. The best match went to Edge and Rollins with 332 votes. Cena and Reigns was second with 83, so it wasn't close. The worst match was Alexa versus Eva Marie with 208 votes. And I can't believe that 200 some odd other people picked a different one. That's pretty crazy.
So Dave's quote on Lesnar returning. For Lesnar, he showed up after Reigns had pinned John Cena to win the main event after a grueling match. His music played, he looked big, but he didn't look as hard physically in the sense that's such a Meltzer saying.
It is a very Meltzer thing. He typed it like he'd say it.
Yes. So he says he at least didn't look like he got get a major advance notice on this, and that it was confirmed by those closest to the situation that were saying that it was a last minute deal. It was put together for a number of reasons, all in some form related to Fox and CM Punk showing up at AEW and John Cena leaving.
It all makes sense. So Dave says that Fox is very upset that the WWE did make a big offer to get Punk. So Lesnar and Becky Lynch were their make good with the network. The WWE held some tryouts in Vegas this week and some notable signings. Natalia Holland, who's now Tatum Paxley, Jamara Garrett, who's now Jakara Jackson, and the now Maxine Dupree were the most notable names to come out of that tryout. SummerSlam was the largest gate for a non-WrestleMania show in company history. Crazy thing, there was only 50,000 some change in the building.
Yeah, it wasn't a total sellout. They'll tell you that it was, but it wasn't. So that was part 39 of the Bloodline Rewind. If you've made it this far, be sure to like the video, leave a comment of what you thought about SummerSlam 2021, and smash that subscribe button, as it is the best way to support. We'll be back next week with a fallout of Roman winning and the Usos retaining, and of course, the return of the Beast. So with that, I'm Johnny Bake Show.
I'm Teddy Mongoose.
And we just called it in the ring.